And
Older
my
brother.
father, yeah, a year older. And my father was displeased with my anti-war stand.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't a
And
military man, was he?
he was a World War II veteran. He fought real hard at that desk in Panama, during World War II. And I'm sure there was plenty of cables that wouldn't have gone out without him.
Yeah.
And I had a Polish uncle who married his sister who wanted to beat me up at a family party one time. He was drunk and he couldn't see why, a young kid without the guts to fight the commies shouldn't get his face bashed in in front of the relatives, especially if the commies had taken over the country with you.
How old were you then? You were 18?
Oh, well, at
You had to
18
be
when I got my
18.
draft card, but probably 20, 22 when my uncle...
When your uncle wanted to beat you up.
He did.
He didn't?
He did, but he wanted to. He sort of threatened me when he was drunk one time, and I guess the relatives intervened in the drama.
Told him to
kept a
shut.
distance between us.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Relatives are nice though.
Sometimes. Of course, Mama wasn't big enough to pull Daddy off me, so...
Well, that was...
that's
something else again. That's interesting then.
Well,
So what do you? So what? So you? Is this a claim for child abuse as leading to nonviolence?
Well, in a
Is
sense,
that what
I
I
am
heard
claiming
earlier?
that. In a sense, I am claiming it through this series of events. My father was violent. I replicated violence. I paid the price, and I chose nonviolence.
After paying the price
After
for
paying
violence.
the price for violence. So, in a sense, there was a succession of events, and also the violence has been transformed into some stubbornness, and I've gotten a program of watching my anger so it doesn't come to the point where I want.
So we should take all child abused children and train them to not abuse.
Well, it would be useful if abused children who wish to change themselves had a place where they could learn new patterns.
So
I'm not sure.
How many of the people on the
volunteerism would
street?
be-
How many of the people on the street right now that you know are abused children?
Well, let me put it this way. I think that if a person does not have steady love in their childhood, they're an abused child. And that many of the people on the street came from families where there was no warmth, even if there wasn't emotional torture or physical violence. So I think many of the people on the street are family-less, support-less, outcast in that sense. That we are basically the outcast class, those of us who have been homeless. And that some of us pass, like myself, we have enough social skills that we can be accepted if we can perform some. But others are just, they've never been raised, they've never gotten through childhood, they've been stuck. And even I feel stuck in ways, emotionally, from my own battered childhood. But somehow or other, I've mostly gotten through it, grounded and working. I've invented a new father, in my journals, in my songs, my poetry, that's more humane. I've invented a new person that isn't violent, and I haven't physically touched anyone in 10 years, hit anyone. And it's really been 20 years since 18 or so years since I've harmed anyone. So, or 16, I think 16 years. So, I feel good about it. I know people can change. It's possible to. I quit cigarettes for 7 years, and then I started again for 10 years, and I'm off again for a year and a half. So, people can change, even hard to change stuff. With patience. Mostly it's patience. It isn't even willpower. It's just getting back on the program in a way. Looks like the dog is dreaming.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else interesting to say?
No, I think I'm dogged out maybe. There might be more.
Well, now tell me something about bread and jams. You got 10 minutes.
Okay. Boy.
Well, what is bread and jams?
Okay, well, Bread and Jams is a group of homeless and low-income people and their friends that officially formed about a year ago. Part of the reason was that there had been a drop-in center that was closed down about a year before, and that drop-in center was Catholic church property, was bought up by Harvard, and because the church officials didn't really do much except for come in and enforce rules once in a while, it was mostly left to the people there to take care of it, and homeless people had a role as volunteering and things like that. We had music there. So in ways, Bread and Jams carries on the tradition of food and music that St. Paul's was part of, but we're more egalitarian. We have no official distinction between server and served. We make our decisions by consensus, and we aim to get a self-advocacy center where homeless people can meet their needs and speak for themselves, and eventually housing and jobs and political power for homeless people. This is at least my vision of Bread and Jams.